Good morning, New York. My name is Yaakov Katz, and I am the editor-in-chief of the Jerusalem Post. It is my honor to be here with you this morning. It's no secret that Israel today faces daunting challenges. After nearly 70 years, Israel has yet to reach the stage when it can rest and lay down its weapons. And today, possibly even more so than in the past, it needs to remain vigilant as it faces a region in the throes of an unprecedented historic upheaval and a great sense of uncertainty. Today, we will benefit from an insider's tour of the region. From Iran to Gaza, Syria to the Gaza Strip, and Egypt, the peace process with the Palestinians, and of course, Israel's strategic ties with the United States and the upcoming visit of President Donald Trump to our country and our region. These are just some of the issues our speakers will tackle for us today. The Jerusalem Post will soon celebrate its 85th anniversary. And as a paper, we have carried on the tradition of what our founder, Gershon Agron, envisioned in 1932, to create a newspaper in Israel that could tell the world what was happening within this ancient land, but also within the wider region. Over the years, we have grown, and we are obviously no longer just a print newspaper in Israel and around the world. But today, we are the most widely read English language website coming out of Israel and the Jewish world, which I'm sure you have noticed we recently redesigned. And we serve as an unwavering and reliable source of news for what happens in Israel, the Middle East, and the Jewish world. The issues we all know often are tough and sometimes divisive. But a newspaper, let's remember, is not an advocacy organization. We don't push one side of the political spectrum. A newspaper is supposed to be a place for people to hear a wide range of opinions and views on all of the issues that are at the core of what we are all interested in. If we read and listen to just what we agree with, what is the purpose of that? The whole point of newspapers like the Jerusalem Post and conferences like our annual conference, this today, the 6th year running, is to debate the toughest issues and ask the toughest questions. As the primary newspaper for the Jewish world, the Jerusalem Post, I believe, is carrying out its role faithfully, taking issues that are at the heart of controversy for the Jewish community and tackling them head on. The role of a newspaper is not to shy away from those issues. It is to embrace them. At the paper, we have always strived to bring you, our readers, perspectives from across the spectrum, from the left, from the right. Some you read and agree with, and some you don't. But that is our purpose. Our job is not to tell you what to believe, but is to give you the information, the knowledge, so you can make the best decisions possible. So here is what I ask today. Our cardinal rule is that people be respectful. You don't have to agree with everything you're going to hear on this stage, but I request that you listen and that you let our speakers speak. That is the purpose of today's gathering. Israel as a story has always marveled the world. It is a tale of an ancient people that returned to its historic homeland and achieved the impossible. Not only did it survive, we just celebrated Yom Ha'atzmaut last week, but we prospered, we persevered. At the Jerusalem Post, we are proud to be able to tell you this story on a daily and 24/7 basis. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsors for today's conference, and last but not least, the two people who make this possible. To the Jerusalem Post CEO, who I have the privilege of working with on a daily basis, Ronit Hassin Hochman, and of course, Eli Azur, our paper's owner. Thank you both. We also have a few small changes to today's schedule. Unfortunately, we learned on Friday that Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman had to cancel his trip to the United States. So he will not be with us today, but I assure you we have quite the lineup that will be quite interesting for all of you. I now invite you to sit back and enjoy this short film about the Jerusalem Post.
The Jerusalem Post has been telling Israel's fascinating story for over 80 years. We were there during the British Mandate, at the time of the Declaration of Independence, and the establishment of the state.
אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל.
We march together in war and in peace. At times of sorrow and in joy. We have been there at every moment that has shaped the course of Israel's history. And with every issue, we've established ourselves as one of the most accurate and reliable newspapers in the Middle East. As Israel's amazing story continues to develop, we too decided to expand. We have become a news source for 72 different countries around the world. This continuous development stems from a belief in the importance of a connection between world Jewry and the State of Israel. We have not stopped here. Our English language website is Israel's leading news site with more than 9 million viewers a month. Millions of people around the world view our daily news web broadcast. And our special app? It will accompany you anytime or place you want. In order to help preserve freedom of speech in Israel, we acquired the newspaper Ma'ariv Sof HaShavua, which immediately since its launch has become one of Israel's leading newspapers. And so, from a small paper in a small country, which was founded before the establishment of the state, we have evolved into a media group whose conferences are among the most influential and important in the Jewish world. All of this is both thanks to you and for you, the Jerusalem Post. We are the media group that always has and will continue to accompany the nation.